I see red numbers.
You're like,
So I should have warned you about that.
nah. You know what you need to get a mirror for the back of it so you can actually see the angle.
Oh, that's
in really weird places. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I've got equipment where I can hook up.
Oh, see?
But I don't. It's funny. Tracy will say, you know, oh, I just saw this cool handheld thing, and I'm like, oh, that's perfect because then I can hook up to my phone and I can take more video with my phone. And she's like, I probably should not have told you about this.
See, that's the way you have to look at like things that you're buying to make music with or make art or whatever. Like, you know, it's not. You're not like spending money on stupid stuff. Like you're gonna get total coverage, you know. Like,
That's right. If I use it at least a few times.
Yep.
Like I don't play guitar, but I have. Tracy and I have like 4 or 5 of them.
See?
I'm trying to think like a ukulele. You've got some percussion instruments. You know, so the joke is, if my son had continued to learn how to play guitar, we were going to be a band. And so I used to joke with Tracy, like, we'll call ourselves the Gypsies. You sing lead, because I do not have a voice for lead. And she's like, we are not going to be called.
Never happening.
We are not going to be called the Gypsies. And so then I capitalized on that. Oh, so if we call ourselves something else.
Me, Art, Gypsy. Sorry, that's what just popped in my head. Like it's so close to the Jetsons.
It is.
You guys should start like a future rock band.
Please wear Jetson type of
Please, yeah, that'd be great. That'd be awesome.
I want the car. I want the car.
Yeah.
Of course you do.
And I want a Rosie who takes care of me.
Yes.
Maybe even more than the car.
That I think it was when I was in Nashville last time. I saw a car that had one of those Jetson bubbles on it.
Yeah.
Big cars.
Yeah, it was.
Those are
super
awesome.
neat, and it was made. It wasn't made of glass, so
Just like
yeah. He told me all about it.
some such
He's
nouns.
one of those guys that really loves his car, and I was like, man, that's a great car. And he's like, oh, well, you got about 45 minutes. Let me tell you about it. One of those deals.
That's my favorite.
Yeah. It was great.
Let's see, do I have time? I probably won't get there. This kind of thing. No. The internet says not today. I was going to look up the number for the suicide prevention hotline.
Well, you have, yeah, I was going to say the cover of this actually has it in there, I believe, but
Here we go.
Should I put this on my noggin?
you can if you want to.
Amber Hargett, here on your Tuesday afternoon alternative on WUDR Dayton. Somebody Loves You, Darling, which she actually wrote. Somebody Loves You, about a loss in her family. Please, if you or anyone you know is dealing with thoughts like that, please contact the Suicide Prevention Hotline. Before Amber, you also heard Sadbox, Dayton's own, with the Wallows from their eponymously titled record, which is coming out real soon. They're coming on the show this summer. We are excited. The Well Wishers with their cover of a terrific song, Secondhand News, Fleetwood Mac. It's just a really great cover. Jeff Shelton doing amazing work there. Of course, I am keeping my Sunvolt crush going from the Union record, which is coming out soon. That's Devil May Care. Brand new music from Duster, Heading for the Door. True Lies from their brand new record, Horse, with Ronson. And we need to get that Kickstarter going so I can go to Sweden and see them perform live. Okay, maybe that's a little self-serving. X-Hex before that with Rainbow Shiner from their brand new It's Real record. And everything started off with A Voice of Your Own, Clean, from their forthcoming Satellites record. I am joined in studio by 2 amazing musicians, Cassie and Harold, who collectively create, well, let's call it what it is, Biscuits and Gravy.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey.
How you guys doing today?
It's doing really well. The sun's shining outside.
I know, it's
There's not
beautiful.
a cloud anywhere, so I'm great. Yeah.
So, let's talk about Biscuits and Gravy. You guys have been singing or playing together for a really long time.
Well, we started when I was 15, almost 16. Harold was slightly older than that. And we played music on each other's porches. And then we took about a 20-year hiatus where, you know, life happened for him, life happened for me. And then he has Repeating Arms and I have Cherry Lee and the Hot Rod Hounds, and we came back together and we're like, you know what, maybe we should just see what happens. And then we realized that it was really easy.
And super fun.
And super fun.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I'm also curious. You're both involved in multiple projects, solo work or band arrangements, band work. What is it that Biscuits and Gravy gives you, right? Working together, what do you get from that?
Diabetes.
Aw.
I thought you were asking. Oh, you mean the band? No, I mean, I think for me, like, because we both write in this project, which, you know, Max and I wrote quite a bit on the earlier records, but I feel like, you know, it's getting to work with somebody else, like-minded songwriting, and like, I'll bring some stuff in that's like almost finished, and she does, you know, she'll bring a song in and be like, hey, this is, you know, I don't know if we can use this or whatever, and just doing that kind of work, I think
it's really organic. It really is. And for me, it's doing a totally different kind of music.
Oh, sure.
Because it's not anywhere near the genre of the rockabilly that we usually do, and people are like, I didn't know that your voice would do that. And I'm like, you mean not growl? Yeah, it'll do that.
So this really gives you the opportunity to try some new things.
Right.
Absolutely.
So, I'm sorry, Harold.
I was just going to say also, like, we take it seriously, but we're also having a lot of fun, and like some of the lyrics, you know, sometimes we get a little serious, but at the same time we're trying to throw some fun stuff in there too.
We've been told so far that basically it's really depressing, but really good music with really funny people talking in between.
The banter.
So,
so, you know.
I've seen you guys a few times. I'm going to say that's fair. That sounds like a fair. I don't think someone's trying to be mean there.
No, I think that we both took it as a compliment because we're both pretty ridiculous, and it works.
So the record comes out in a couple of days, right? I'm joking. I'm kidding.
I'm like,
I love the look.
It's like,
no.
Does it? Did we do that? No, actually, we were supposed to be here a while ago, and I was so sick after Winterfell.
I'm so sorry. You
I
feeling
felt
better?
horrible that we had to. We had a big week planned that we were going to be on here on Tuesday, and then recording at the end of the week, and I had to cancel. Like, I had a couple other shows that week. I was just so sick, and so the record is not coming out this Friday, or this 2 days. Wait, today's Tuesday.
No, it's not coming out until it's recorded.
Right. Yeah.
And then we'll get on that.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm teasing. I mean, incredibly unfair because I want the record. I've seen you guys several times, and your voices blend really well.
Thank you.
How do you approach writing songs together?
Basically, either he pulls in something and says, what do you think about this? And we finish it together. Or I pull in something and say, what do you think about this? And then we finish it together. But for writing, we both have written for our separate bands. And it's kind of fun because for me, I can write a different kind of music. It doesn't have to fit within a certain genre of things.
Right.
So.
What I think, like, just to expand on that too, like, the harmony part's kind of like, it's really, I don't know if you feel this way with it, I feel like it's really weird how our voices do that, like, mesh together.
I call it sibling voices.
Yeah.
It sounds like it. When you're singing, they blend so well.
And it's just like, and it's super fun when you can hear it intertwined when we're writing these songs. It's like, that's going to work, you know?
Yeah, and we don't really have to write the harmony parts either.
Right.
Because basically, my brain harmonizes with everything on the planet to the annoyance of everyone around me. So that's just learning the song, and then I just go and hope for the best.
Yeah.
So you're singing along with commercials and you're
vacuum cleaners, whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever.
So if there's a frequency, you're going to harmonize with it.
It might not be good, but I'm still doing it.
I've seen you sing with the Hot Rod Hounds and with Harold. I think you're being a little unduly hard on yourself.
Well, I appreciate that.
So if you're just tuning in, we have Mr. Harold Hensley, the golden voice of Dayton roots music. Cassie Barker, who is not to be missed, either with Cherry Lee and the Hot Rod Hounds or with Harold and Biscuits and Gravy. I'm trying to think if I've ever seen you sing on your own.
Probably not.
I don't think so.
It's happened probably twice in the last few years, and once was right before Winterfolk. And Harold was again, he had stuff going on, and he couldn't make it out, and I was like, not canceling. I'm going to learn how to play these 3 songs on guitar really quickly, and then apologize a lot to everyone who's listening. But it went okay.
I'm sure you did amazing. I heard good things.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah.
Would you think we could get a song from you?
Oh, yeah.
Sure, yeah.
You just don't want it first?
Sure. This is one that Cassie wrote and knocked my socks off. I was like, wow, it's a great tune. And sorry, it's a bit of a downer with all the sun out there, so sorry.
Not sorry. So not sorry.
Sorry, not sorry. You ready? The sun's going down in this town tonight. The moon has come and stolen her light. Why can't the sun just stay tonight? I'm all alone, I'm lost without light. Why, oh why must you leave me behind? The moon stole her light, darling, you stole mine. Darling, you stole mine. Darkness is falling all over the land. You going away, it's not what we had planned. Time ticking by with glass and sand. Thought you'd be forever holding my hand. Holding my hand. You were the one to bring back the sun. And we start over back where we begun. Please, dear moon, won't you bring back the sun? Can we start over back where we begun? Back where we begun. Darkness is falling all over the land. You going away, it's not what we had planned. Time ticking by with glass and sand. Thought you'd be forever holding my hand. Holding my hand. The sun's going down in this town tonight. The moon has come and stolen her light. Why can't the sun just stay tonight? I'm all alone, I'm lost without light. You were the one to bring me the sun. Can we start over back where we begun? Back where we begun. Darkness is falling all over the land. You going away, it's not what we had planned. Time ticking by with glass and sand. Thought you'd be forever holding my hand. Holding my hand. Holding my hand.
that's just beautiful.
Thank you.
That is beautiful. If you're tuning in, this is Biscuits and Gravy. We have Ms. Cassie Barker, also known as Cherry Lee, which I've got questions. I've got a couple of questions about that. Mr. Harold Hensley, the golden voice of Dayton roots music, here in the studio. Hey, if anybody would like to call in and ask a question, now would be the time to call in. Let's listen to some of their respective work outside of the work they've done with each other. I've got some Cherry Lee and the Hot Rod Hounds and some Mr. Harold Hensley from his amazing record, Midnight Savings Time. It is true, right? That Midnight Savings Time is roughly when the songs, the ideas for the songs, you're first writing them. So it was like late at night.
Absolutely, yes.
Which the songs themselves don't feel like they're late at night songs.
I had a really crappy job, so I worked all night long, and I was just like, oh, I'm just gonna write songs all night, and that's why.
You mean you had an awesome job that allowed you to write songs all night?
Awesome job, yes. That's what it is.
Oh, very good. Levels sound good to me.
Yeah.
You do have the knob down there, like you can make it louder or softer as
I
necessary.
turned it up right in your face.
Oh, lovely. Let's see. So I'm supposed to tell Amber. Call now. I thought I. Oh, come on, computer. I thought I gave her the clear. Okay, I cannot say that on air.
Oh.
Yeah, Biscuits and MF Gravy. You do have fans.
Who said that?
That was Tom Gilliam.
Oh, cool.
WUDR, this is Art. Hi, Lucy. How are you?
Oh, my goodness.
Lucy!
Oh, you are most welcome, Lucy. So, can I put you on air in a few minutes? Okay, excellent. Is your mom there? Okay, so we'll go ahead and put Lucy on, but we're not going to refer to her other than Lucy. We're not going to mention her last name or anything like that. Well, it's also required. FCC regulations for people who are under the age of 16 require that we not mention where she lives or her last name.
Oh, man. That's good to know.
I figured everybody would be okay with that. But so I'm gonna go ahead and pot you over to the soundboard. If anything goes wrong, just call back. So what'll happen is you'll go on hold and you'll hear some music playing, and it'll be about 5 minutes. Is that okay? No worries. Okay. So it'll be about 5 minutes before you can ask the question. And what I'll do is I'll just prompt Lucy to ask the question. That sound good? Okay, so here in a few minutes you should start to hear music. Okay, oh, you're very welcome. So we're going on hold now. All right, here we go. Oh, I think it didn't take it right. Yep.
Hang up on her?
Oh.
Well, the button didn't hold down. WUDR, this is Art. Yay, excellent. No, it was my end. The button didn't hold. Okay, ready? Here, we're going to try it again. Here we go. Yay! Equipment's great when it works. She's so sweet.
I know.
She really is.
My kids are so much older. I miss interacting with little kiddos. I don't miss all the work. Oh, well, how old do you think they are? Doesn't that sound like a terrible position to put somebody in?
It's like,
To know.
30 and 22.
Fair enough. I'm like, mine are 15 and 14. Twin girls are 14.
Okay. May God have mercy on both our souls.
Within a year, I will have 3 children driving within the same year.
oh.
See, like Will never felt that it was a big deal to drive, and Katie, on the other hand.
My son turned 15 and looked at me and said, I have 6 months till I can get my driver's temps or whatever, my temps. And I'm like, that sounds great. You know how to load the dishwasher properly. I don't know how you're going to drive a car.
Well, I mean, in all fairness, I got it. Katie got in one accident that wasn't her fault. She had a patch of ice, right? And interestingly enough, I still drive a car that shows that particular front end damage because she was supposed to pay for the repairs and never did. And I felt as a matter of principle, well, it's wrong if I pay for it. Right. And so now, 11 years later,
they were just like snap photos and like text it to her like,
you know, if you're watching, Miss Kate.
Sorry for the ideas.
Yeah, I know.
It's all Harold's fault.
I know how many things I hit with my car.
Oh yeah,
I had
like,
a 78
I
Ford
can't
Fairmont,
pass
though.
judgment.
Mine was like a big steel boat.
Yeah.
And you know, and it's probably even longer than 11 years. Oh God, it's 2019. So even, so
Ish.
yeah. Thank you.
11-ish.
So I always feel like, yeah, it'd be nice if the car didn't have that, but it has no way affected the running of the car. I just hit, as I was driving today, 270,000 miles on that little Mitsubishi Mirage. Mia is a hard-working car, and she has. I don't know if this is real word or not.
Sure.
Maybe I should.
Yeah. That is a real one, yeah.
You know, and at this point, her Blue Book value is a dash. I'm driving it till it pukes.
Yep. Get it.
Oh.
And I really should stop talking
it
about
was?
it. 2001.
Mine's a 2004.
Okay.
And it's got over 200,000 miles on it.
You know what? Lynn's car is a Mitsubishi.
The things people talk
I
about,
think,
right?
I think yours is 2001 as well, and that car has just gone.
Well, seriously, it still gets decent gas mileage.
Yeah.
It's making some shudders that make me concerned, but I'm not like trying to race.
I've replaced bunches of parts in my Honda, but that's.
I've not had too many, to be honest with you. Just a handful of
I
things.
drive 6 hours, 3 hours to get and 3 hours back every week.
Maybe you should just get a large coffee, get hopped up and take it out on the highway. Just really open it up.
See what happens?
Yeah, it'll
Play taps while you're doing it.
Yes, small parts are flying off.
some arrows. Shoot a flaming arrow into it if it doesn't make it.
That sounds like truly when I bought the new car. When I bought the new car, yeah, they tear off the roof and stuff like that.
Yeah. See, I was going like.
Well, see, this has YouTube, so I thought this was a great song.
Oh yeah.
Here we go. Building a boat. Mr. Harold Hensley here on your Tuesday afternoon alternative with some fine help from Miss Cassie Barker. And we are here in studio with Harold and Cassie, who collectively are Biscuits and Gravy. You thought it was a food. Oh, silly,
like
silly
Voltron.
people.
It's
But
like Voltron.
they are terrific. And we have one of our favorite Dayton superfans on the phone. Lucy, do you have a question for Biscuits and Gravy? Go ahead and ask your question.
Yes. Definitely. I started writing songs when I was old enough to talk. They weren't good songs. But I started writing them and making them up when I was really, really little. So yeah. You?
What was the question?
So the question was, have you always wanted to be a musician? Have you wanted to be a musician since you were little?
Yes. I got a Muppets drum set for like my second or third. I'll post pictures later. Birthday or Christmas present, and I started playing drums, and then I got like a little toy guitar, and I would like, what do they call it, pantomime when you act like you're playing? Is that what the right word?
Air guitar, right?
Air guitar, yeah, air guitar. But I used to entertain family and friends that would come over to the house from a small age. Usually like Bad to the Bone or something.
Yeah.
Like I would always act like I was playing that.
I
like,
think I've
back in
seen
the future.
pictures of you
Yeah.
in your little
Undies,
underoos
yeah,
and
yeah.
a t-shirt with your little guitar.
It was a tough Christmas.
Yeah. There were no fans.
I need to see that. I remember Underoos.
Yeah.
Well, Lucy, that was a great question.
We love you, Lucy.
Thanks for calling.
Yeah, thank you for calling in. Do you have any other questions? Okay.
Can you give your mom a big hug for me? Thank you.
Yes.
Thanks for calling in, Lucy.
I don't know if she's watching, but I keep waiting.
You are most welcome. You can call in anytime, okay? All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
So Lucy does ask some great questions, though. Like, you guys have always wanted to perform in some capacity. Harold says yes.
I did not necessarily perform, because it took me till I was 30, something rather, to actually get up on a stage and play. That wasn't like with choir in school.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that
Yeah.
20-year gap from Harold and I not playing was actually a 20-year gap of me not playing or singing really much at all ever. So I was kind of thrown back literally thrown back into it. You basically, a friend of mine was like, "You're in my band," and I was like, "What?" He's like, you can sing. I've heard you do it in karaoke," and I'm like, "That is not the same thing." Well, that's too bad because we have a show in 2 weeks. We're gonna have to learn a set of music. And
I
was like,
love that.
Yep.
That's Bill from Daddy Cats. Yeah.
But brilliant, because you own that stage.
Thank you.
Right? I mean, so you may not see yourself.
I didn't at first. I was disgustingly nervous every
really?
single time.
Really?
Yeah.
How about now?
Sometimes at brand new venues, or if there are people that I really respect and love in the audience, it makes it like I'll get fluttery and nervous. I did for that the Dayton duet thing.
Yes.
The Dayton duet thing.
I was super nervous on that too.
So nervous because everybody who was playing, they all mean something to me. Like their respect means something to me. Not that everybody doesn't mean something, but like you care that you don't mess up in front of them.
Yeah.
Because in your mind, every time you open, most musicians that I know personally, every time you open your mouth, you are just kind of convinced that something terrible is going to come out, or you're going to squawk like a bird instead of singing the notes you're supposed to sing. And it gets especially bad in situations like that where you're like, what is going to come out of my mouth today?
Well, I'm curious about you, Harold, because you also have a really good stage presence.
Well, thank you.
Have you always wanted to perform? It sounds like yes. How do you feel about it today?
I have always wanted to perform. Like, I mean, I practiced almost my whole life. I would take the vacuum cleaner and use that as my mic stand, and I would like rock out to these mainly Motley Crue. But anyway, that's a whole other story.
But there's no shame in that, by the way.
Right. Yeah. But as I progressed, like I played drums for a long time when I actually started getting serious about music, and then I sang and played drums, and so it's always been like, because I love bands that put on a great show. I wish that I could jump around and swing around and do things like that.
You've had bands where you have, though.
Yeah, I have been in those bands before, but I never played guitar in those bands either. So that kind of changes things up for me, I guess. But yeah, I just really like the feeling. There's like really nothing else like that blast of nerves you get when you see like somebody in the crowd that's going to judge you. Well, in your head, you think they're going to judge you.
Right.
They don't really, most of them don't really judge
Right,
you.
yeah.
They just love you, are happy when you don't mess up.
Yes.
And equally as happy that you did.
Yeah. Yeah.
That sounds like there's some underlying competition.
It's amazing.
Dayton is one of the, after hearing people's stories of other music scenes, the camaraderie and love amongst Dayton musicians is ridiculously touching.
Absolutely.
I mean, I think that most of us would probably like throw ourselves in front of a train for one another. So that's, I can't ask for anything more than that as far as the love in this town musically is concerned.
And there is like a little bit of competition, but the competition that I'm talking about is like pushing each other to write better songs and make records, and not like, oh well, this record's gonna be better than your record, not like in that sense really, but just like the space race, like who's gonna get their record out on vinyl first, or who's who's gonna do it first, and things like that, and that keeps this whole thing healthy, I think. You know what I mean? and then everybody collaborating with each other and doing stuff like that I've never ever seen a music scene like this. Not that I've lived in a million other places, but the music scenes I've tried to be in, nothing like Dayton ever. So super.
We love each other.
Yeah. Super humbling to be a part of it, for sure.
If you're just joining us, we have Cassie Barker and Harold Hensley, who are together Biscuits and Gravy. She's Cherry Lee and performs with Cherry Lee and the Hot Rod Hounds. Harold also plays with, in addition to Biscuits and Gravy, he has a terrific solo record called Midnight Savings Time, which you should buy. If you're listening to the sound of our voices, just buy it. Yeah. It'll bring about inner peace as you listen to that music. But
Yes.
it'll be truly Baha'i. You'll create peace in yourself, peace in others, peace in the world. But also, Harold is part of the Repeating Arms. And I'm just curious, Harold, you've got a lot of really cool gravel to your voice.
Oh, thank you.
Did you have that at an early age? Like, I'm picturing like 10-year-old Harold. Hi, I'm Harold Hensley.
I didn't. I smoke a lot of cigarettes, so I think that's probably because I used to have a
You're
really.
not promoting smoking at this juncture.
Yeah, I'm not promoting. Don't do that. Yes, but I think that's where a lot of the gravel came from later on, and because like early on, some of the first bands, like I had a pretty high range. Like some of the great. Oh, I'm not gonna say the name of the band, but some of the early stuff, it was pretty high up there. See, there we go. But I think it just I kind of went with it,
The first time I heard you sing, you were probably, what, 17, 16, something like that. And his voice was pretty high. It was always beautiful, though. Like, just
how could it not be?
Thank you.
beautiful. I heard him sing before I met his face. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
And because we got some friends of ours.
Yeah.
I went to Carlisle and he went to Germantown.
Which was like a mile away from each other, maybe.
But our houses were like, you know what I mean? Like
Real close.
Really,
Yeah.
really close. We were both right on the edge. And a friend of ours was like, hey, I have this friend. You guys got to hang out because basically he's like the male version of you. And so we started talking on the phone and playing music for each other on the phone. And then we realized how close we lived to each other, and that's when we started playing music.
Yep.
So.
Our first folk I don't even really
We
call it
didn't
anything.
name it
We
anything.
didn't call it anything, but it was
Playing
fun.
things we can play on our
It was
porch.
really fun.
Yeah.
I had like songbooks and all
Oh,
that
yeah.
stuff.
I wish there was video of that.
Oh, I don't.
I can tell you exactly what it looked like. Take Harold and give him a really bad bowl cut, like mushroom top parted down the middle bowl cut, sans beard, and put really, really long, like past my butt, white blonde hair on a hippie. Because I was kind of a hippie before I was a punk rocker, before I was a hippie, before I was a country. The phases, the ups and downs.
All the normal.
Yep. Transitions that teenagers go through.
And I'm picturing two teenagers who look like they belong in a 90s band.
Pretty much.
Yeah, it was
Absolutely.
It was a lot of Doc Martens and RL socks and long shorts that used to be corduroy pants and striped shirts and Grantley Buffalo t-shirts and things with the,
Oh, you cut me to the quick with the Grantley Buffalo. Great band who deserves far more attention than they got.
I do concur.
Oh.
I went to see REM and they opened for them.
Yes.
And it was actually supposed to be Homecoming, and I was like, I'm too cool to get him Kimmy with me. I need to see REM. And I said it with that voice too.
I know you did. Yeah.
So we went, and I was like, REM was really good. But I bought the Grantley Buffalo t-shirt, and I wore it until literally the arms were falling off of it, and it was a really cool shirt.
I've seen them open for REM. I forget which tour that was, like Green or something.
I think it was Monster.
Maybe it was Monster. And then I saw them open for Paul Westerberg on his first solo tour. And
they were fantastic.
they killed. They were just so amazing. I saw them in some venue. I want to say it was Detroit or something. I was one of those uncool kids who shows up, like 2 hours before showtime, and you're just standing there. Someone's like, hey, do you want to make $10? Sure.
Is it legal?
Yeah. A couple of years later, I got that expunged off my record. But no, in all seriousness, so you're helping them move stuff in, and you're just a few feet from someone like Paul Westerberg, or I know, and the guys from Grant Lee Buffalo were super nice. Super nice. And I fell in love right then and there, and then when I saw them play, it was all over.
Yeah.
But I feel like now I've taken away from Biscuits and Gravy, which is what we're here to talk about.
We tend to sidetrack.
We're here to talk about music, so yeah.
I love you. Thank you. Speaking of music, can we get another song?
Sure. This tune is it's going to be on the new record. All of these are going to be on the new record. It's called Heart That's Bruised.
Someday this old world will be through. Sky, the trees, the birds, and you. Some of the darkest places that we've been to. The explosions can't hold a light to you. And from under the dust that smiles shine through. Like a lighthouse to find my way to you. I'm telling you the end is soon. And I'll remember you. Someday you may say we're through. And I'll take what I can from you. Life lessons and a heart that's bruised. I'll paint myself a different shade of blue. Sleep alone in a bed for two. See your face in the streets in the evening dew. I'll never forget how we broke the rules. Yes, I'll remember you. Someday this heart will pump its last drop. And I'll follow the light, feel the shock. I'll look back down from high as high and wait for the last beat to drop. Or maybe I deserve a deeper spot where the sun don't shine and it's way too hot. Even when this old body is shot. Yes, I'll remember you. Yes, I'll remember you.
Amazing. That's terrific.
Thank you.
We have Cassie Barker and Harold Hensley here in the studio. They are Biscuits and Gravy. They are about to go and record a record that'll be out in the near future. You need it. If you are listening to this show, you can see why. I don't have to explain this to you. It's patently obvious, people. I'm also curious, Cassie, you really do have a great voice, right? But you said there was quite a bit of gap before you performed. But did you like sing during that time? You said you did karaoke.
Yeah, that was like 4 times, and there was drinking, and it doesn't count.
There was drinking.
And there was like singing in the car and the shower like normal people, but I thought that part of my life was not ever going to be a thing. And then I was like, oh crap, this is totally a thing, and now the bug has bit, and if every project I'm in right now fell apart tomorrow, I would find more project. Because it's a part of my life now that I know I can't live without it.
It's like therapy.
I can't quit you.
It's totally like therapy.
So you would agree the idea that writing songs and performing songs is therapeutic?
Absolutely.
It is, definitely. If you go a long span without,
Yeah.
after you've been performing for a while, you go a long span without and you're like, why am I sad? Why am I depressed? Why do I want to sleep off? It's because you're missing that piece. That piece that makes you feel like super extra alive. And performing does that. Looking at people's faces when you're performing and seeing them smile and seeing them get it is the most amazing feeling in the world, because sometimes general communication, especially in today's world where everybody's got their thumbs out and they're texting all the time and stuff like that, having a genuine connection with somebody when they're standing right in front of your face is a magical, magical thing.
Absolutely.
So you're listening to your Tuesday afternoon alternative here on WUDR Dayton. A rock in the Gem City, music in all directions. Say it with me now. Support your local music scene. We're going to give these fine folks a chance to get a drink of water. We're going to play something from Harold Hensley's. Did I mention that I love this record? Midnight Savings Time. This is called She.
Sweet.
Still sounds good to me. Sound okay to on your end?
Thanks for having us, man.
Oh, thank you for
Always
coming
fun.
in. I remember, oh gosh, when was the first time Tracy and I saw you guys? I forget if it was it
Star City or?
is it Star City or Trolley Stop or
Trolley Stop, because
Yellow?
you sat down right in the front.
I
Todd Weiner
did.
sat down
Oh,
right
it was
in
so
front.
terrible of me.
Both you and Todd Weiner were like plunk, and I was like, oh God!
You
Oh
were
no!
Here we go.
I should so not have that effect on anyone. Now Todd, on the other hand, I'm scared of Todd.
Man.
Love you, Todd. It's out of respect that I'm afraid.
Well, like I said earlier, it's totally
Like you want him to
respect.
like you. It's sort of like, as somebody who, like for me, a day without music, you might as well just not give me oxygen.
Right.
If I feel like antsy
Right.
for a couple of days, I realize I haven't listened to music for a while.
Right.
But I remember like the first time I met him, and it was one of those kind of weird things. Like, you know, he's regular like me.
Oh,
He's a normal guy like us.
regular normal guy. And he's actually kind of a.
Never meet your idols. Never meet.
No, he's actually kind of an inward. Like he is very
Really
with his
thoughtful,
Music,
yeah.
but he's very inside of himself as far as. And he's amazing and pretty rad.
But it's you know, I've met a fair number of my idols, and most of them don't live up to the unbelievably high expectation you've created in your mind, which is incredibly unfair to them, right?
Well, in my mind, like everyone I've met who's famous has ended up being. I treat them automatically like they are just you or me or that, you know, because they're people with people thoughts. But except for with one, I met Big Sandy.
Oh,
Big Sandy
yeah,
from
yeah,
Friday
yeah,
Boys,
yeah.
And I totally like.
You fangirl?
I mean, I was like, what am I doing with my face and my body?
It kind of sounds like what happened when I met Mike Patton, because I couldn't. I was like,
Oh.
it's a possibility that I would have, you know, I was doing the art, hanging out backstage at Bogart's like
Yeah,
2
well,
3 hours before, you know.
Where I met Frank Black too. So.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, you met Frank Black? Oh, that had to be pretty cool.
It was
Although I've
really
heard
awesome.
from people,
He was
you
super
get
cool.
you get like a super cool Frank Black, or you get a guy who understands how good he is.
I found out between you and me and that, I found out that his name is actually Frank. And I was like,
What? Yeah, exactly. Like you learned that.
and
You're
he
like,
actually
that's
pulled
not
out his
real.
license and was like, blurb. And I was like, why?
It's like, let me get your address really fast too, and get your license out.
No.
Well, that's what I love about Dayton is that there's so many great musicians who I would hope they know how good they are, but when you talk to them, they're just people, right?
Right.
No matter how good they are, you know, I can only count one person in all of the folks I've ever met who's not been like a regular person, right? I'm not going to say who that is, but it's not somebody that most of us hang
Why
out
don't you put
with.
your face like this and cup your hands and...
Student-run radio,
Okay.
University of Dayton.
Just tell
So-
me later.
But other than that,
Yeah, yeah. But
Wait,
it,
did he just say Harold? Is that what he said.
That's exactly what he said.
Mr. Harold Hensley!
Well, the thing is, like, I found with being involved with everybody that so many of us are great on stage, but we get off stage and we're almost socially backward. You know what I mean?
Really?
Like,
See, I don't see
it's
that.
not like this, but if you ever don't do this, it's me. If you ever watch me after a show or before a show,
Yeah.
I don't know where to go. I don't know what to do. I don't know who to talk to. I don't, like, literally, I'm just kind of like,
Yeah.
because I am not a great conversation initiator. Once it starts,
Okay.
once it starts, it's good. How many times did I see you before we actually had a conversation?
You know, probably several
One.
times, yeah.
One
Well, see, you're a great conversationalist.
But it has to come to me. I can't. I don't ever know how anybody else is feeling, so I don't approach them.
So do you think of yourself as socially awkward, or is it
Yes.
more like, it's not like you're trying to read the other person?
I think super empathetic, where I'm like, you look
Yeah.
like you might have had a weird day, and I don't know if you want to talk to me or not. So I'll just wait and find out if you come to me and
I do the same. I do the
sit
same
over
stuff.
here.
It's weird.
That's interesting, because I would not think, man, when you guys are on stage, you own the stage. Together, it's like a combustible, you know.
That's gonna be ridiculous.
But it's interesting, like with Cherry Lee or whether it's Repeating Arms or what, you've jumped on stage with Dual Fashion or other folks.
Yeah.
I would never think of either one of you as, shy. I was shy in high school. I was named the shyest person in the school, not just in my graduating class. I also had a stutter, which does come out when I get excited or apparently when I drink.
Yeah, we both talk like
Everyone
we're-
has a
Okay,
stutter.
kids,
When we
I didn't mean
drink,
to laugh.
make good
when
decisions.
we drink, what happens? We sound like we're from Hee Haw.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
no.
Absolutely every
You
time.
think-
Because both of us have worked on not having our Southern Ohio,
Yeah.
A little bit of Kentucky in there.
little Kentucky in there, and if we are drinking is together, or
You guys play off each other in a brilliant
or
way.
sometimes because we're the same. I mean,
It's almost like you were a married couple in a previous life.
or siblings.
Yeah.
Okay, that works too.
I mean,
Yeah.
one or the other.
It's
Not
hard
happen.
to. It's hard to.
Yeah, I feel a million past life I would have murdered him.
Oh no! He's delightful.
I know,
Man. That's what she calls me, the flaky.
Yeah,
I'm
he's
the
the flaky
flaky
part of the
outer
biscuit,
core
and
of
I'm
the
the smushy, gooey middle part of the
I've
biscuit.
I've seen you do that. There are people in the audience who don't know you guys,
Uh-huh.
and they're like, "What? What's happening?" And I'm just like Tracy and I are looking at each other like we cannot look at each other because we'll just start laughing.
Yeah.
Because I get that you're playing, but there are people in the audience who
Right.
don't think you're
Like,
playing.
that is really mean.
Did she just say something mean about? Did he just say something mean to her? Did he just yell?
It's,
We're hoping that eventually it'll catch on that we really wanted to be comedians instead of musicians, and we're just trying out new material.
and a lot of times we think we are way
The
funnier
music is just
Yeah.
than we actually are.
Like we think we're hilarious. Like,
You are though. You are.
Uh,
I would go to, if you guys did comedy shows, I would totally go to
You have to
that.
put up with our singing in the middle of it.
That's see, I'm getting the best of both worlds.
yeah.
That is not a problem for me.
Gotta pay the bills, do our comedy and then do some music.
But you know, that I can think of lots of shows that I've been to, even major acts, and it's like they never say anything to the crowd, right? Or their whole idea of like moving while they're playing
A
is,
little less talk, a little more rock.
Yeah.
Yep.
or like I feel like I'm watching somebody do some kind of waltz that's going on in their
That's
head.
what I was thinking.
Because
When you said you started
they
doing
barely say anything, but they keep doing this.
Well, what it makes me think of
Just so
is
animated.
when you were a kid and you go to, I'm gonna date myself, Showbiz Pizza.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that.
And you know, that kind of
It sounds
thing.
like those Chuck E. Cheese
Yeah, that's what I'm
musicians.
talking about. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
exactly the same thing.
But it was before Chuck E. Cheese, it was Showbiz.
Showbiz Pizza.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Chuck E. Cheese, same thing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, but that animatronic, like, I'm like, where's the? That's how the connection's made, because you get to watch me be an idiot and make all these faces.
Oh, but see, I love your faces. I love your face.
That's why 90% of every picture ever taken of me while performing is terrible, because I cannot not screw up my face. Like, I think that Alison Krauss is an alien robot. Because when she sings, she's like, and these beautiful sounds come out of her mouth.
And then, but her talking voice is so flat.
Yeah.
And she's more animated when she's not singing.
Uh-huh.
And then when she sings, it's like she tightens up and
Becomes an alien robot.
yeah, everything changes.
He's over there right now. Alien robots.
Oh, no. That's the name of my next punk band.
Yeah, perfect.
Nice. Call me if you need a drummer.
Yeah.
Oh, you're doing more than drumming.
I'm looking for something, like where we're not don't have to use the twang all the time, Like,
And our lead single, Alison Krauss.
Alien robot. Yep.
Let's do that.
You're always sing the songs on the refrigerator.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Well, yeah. That's a good one over here. She has some really interesting song lyrics on the fridge right now.
I feel like all the people are enjoying the video, but the folks, listening to the radio stream aren't getting the cool effect.
That's why I was telling her, because I was like, I love how it's, you get 2 shows for one. Like, my favorite thing to do, like, and this sounds bad, but hear me out, is because I don't get it really well. I don't get the audio feed.
I begged for years to simply, I could reach right now and I could more than quadruple the signal. But the easiest thing to do would be to take where the tower is now and move it to the tallest building on campus.
Right.
And we would double our footprint. But the university, for many reasons, doesn't want to do that.
Right.
Yeah.
Even though it kills me.
And so I'll stream, but when I'm in the car, I can't
Right.
pull over and watch the video in between. Like when music starts playing, you can't pull over and watch the videos. So, yeah.
So we're going to have to talk about lyrics now.
Catch 22. Oh, jeez.
Between the Sheets, which I think is the last song on the record Midnight Savings Time. And then you heard some fine Cherry Lee and the Hot Rod Hounds from their terrific record machine. And so I've got to ask you, Cassie, who is Cherry Lee?
Okay, so back in the day, a million years ago, I had a salon, and when I got ready to open up the salon, I was going to just call it Cherries. Well, then I found out that you have to actually get domain name things, blah, blah, blah. And there were 40,000 Cherries hotels and cafes and blah, 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 blah in the world. And so I was like, I'm just going to use my middle name. And I made it Cherry Lee's. Well, when I got hornswoggled into being in that band, which was originally Cherry Lee and the Daddy Cats, it was Cherry Lee and the Daddy Cats. And then when Bill Winger parted ways with us, we had to change. Felt like we should probably change the name since he's the Daddy Cat and he's not in it anymore. So that's when we changed it to Cherry Lee and the Hot Rod Hounds. In retrospect, that's a very long name for a band. So if you're thinking of naming your band something, to pick something a little shorter. Or thank you, Noah Witherspoon, you will be Cherry Lee and the Hot Rod DeVilles, or Cherry Lee and the Hot Dog Hounds, or there are 8 million things, and it got to the point where at the point
You could do anything.
where it's hilarious. On a big, huge billboard outside of this place we were going to play, I won't name names. We were Jerry Lee and the Hot Hounds. Jerry with the J, like Jerry Lee Lewis.
Right. Yeah.
Jerry Lee and the Hot Hounds.
Oh dear.
On a huge banner, which I now own because I think it's hilarious.
I love the fact that you own that.
Oh yeah. I was like, can I have that? And they're like, well, it's wrong. And I'm like, exactly. And it's mine.
You're listening to your Tuesday afternoon alternative here on WUDR Dayton, a rock in the Gem City, music in all directions. You know it. Support your local music scene. We're joined by 2 terrific local musicians, Cassie Barker, also known as Cherry Lee, minus the Hot Rod Hounds, but plus the terrific Mr. Harold Hensley, the golden voice of Dayton roots. Ultron. So what does that make you then? If he's Ultron, you're...
No, we're Voltron.
Yes.
Oh, you
Separately.
together. Oh,
Separately,
yeah.
and together we...
Oh, that's far cooler than I could ever be.
Separated, when we're separated, we're just like normal breakfast foods.
But together, you're Biscuits and Gravy. One is the doughy inside, and the
That's
other
me.
is the flaky outside.
Yeah, and the doughy inside is a flaky outside. And I mean that with all the love I can
Yeah.
So if you do have questions, visit our Facebook page, Your Tuesday Afternoon Alternative. It's easy to find. The Instagram and the Twitter is DRJYTAA. So Dr. J, Your Tuesday Afternoon Alternative. And let us know. We'll ask some questions. We were talking off air a little bit about lyrics. Apparently you have interesting lyrics on your refrigerator?
get. Yeah, well, Brian
That's an
Goldthwait, who
understatement.
is one of my roommates, we have a tendency to alter the lyrics of songs that already exist. And one of them is an Alison Krauss song that we transformed into our own liking. And I cannot tell you any of the lyrics that are written on my refrigerator.
You really
if that
can't?
means anything to you at all.
I need a picture.
I will send you a picture.
That'll work. That'll
All right.
work. So you're creatively interpreting lyrics. Okay. See, I'm just
It's
getting.
generally filthy.
Okay.
So yeah, that's just how it goes.
Well, how do you guys come up with the lyrics for the songs that you sing together?
We have weird brains, and they just write songs.
Yeah.
So when do you write the songs? Are you like morning writers or evening writers? Do you have to be in the shower?
Oh, I have. I actually, which Solo Night I wrote in the shower.
Really?
Yeah, because remember we talked about it. Because at the last thing I said, and I was naked.
Oh
And then I was
yeah.
like, I'm so sorry, children in the audience. Yeah, that's it. It kind of strikes you when it strikes you, I think.
And I find that the best lyrics for me, they come at the most inopportune times. Like I'll be
Oh, really?
driving.
Driving. I
Yeah,
have
that's-
a notepad and a pen, and
yeah.
I'll drive like this.
Sometimes I sometimes I just get sick of. I know this is gonna sound crazy, but like, you know, I listen to as much new stuff as I can. Sometimes I just need some quiet. If I'm like on a long drive or whatever, and I'll like hum and sing and make stuff up, you know, and that's when I'm always like, oh man, I gotta write that down. So I was doing the voice to text forever, and by the time I get home, it was like, no, I did not write a song about a shaggy dog.
So
Yeah.
with the technology, I think it's funny because I do not like with my writing. I am the same way as I am with reading. I want that tactile. I want to touch it. You know what I mean? And I want a book that's made of paper that came from trees. And when I write, I can't just talk right. I have to actually write it down. Or
I was just trying to be safe.
I,
You don't have to totally make fun of me on the radio.
I'm not making
Oh,
fun
no,
of
we're on the TVs too.
you.
I love that you whisper that.
You're like, just pull over and write it down, dude. Just
No.
do it.
But I completely understand because then later I have to look at this like non-looking chicken scratch and I'm like, I think that word says, what's that truck? I don't know
People?
what that is.
What
Yeah.
comes first, the music or the lyrics?
Depends on the day.
Yeah.
Depends on the day. For me, it's generally the lyrics because I am not good at the guitar. I can play it well enough to be like, I want it to kind of sound like this.
Yeah.
But generally, it takes the people who are around me that love me and care about me and are willing to spend the time to turn my lyrics and craziness into a song.
Right.
So,
Well, how about, since we're talking about songs, can I convince you to play another song?
Sure.
If I say please, pretty please with sugar on it?
should do Shady Tree, or is that, or are we gonna do? Are we gonna be asked to do another song or just this song and that's it?
Well, that's up to you. You can do as many or as few as you want.
I'm gonna make this the last one and we'll do Shady Tree right now.
Sure.
Rush not?
Yeah.
All
So
right.
this is one of those things where I had this bit of a song that I knew there was something about it that was really fun, and I couldn't finish it. I'm like, why can't I finish this stupid song? Less than 5 minutes of us at rehearsal, and she was like, well, why don't you just turn this over here and run this upside down and sprinkle some salt on that, and it'll be done. So that's how some of our songwriting works. That was really stupid. This song is called Shade Tree, and hope you like it. You ready?
Got me a pretty little baby, gonna lie by the shade tree. Gonna give her all of my heart. Gonna do my best tonight. Gonna treat her right. Open up another bottle of wine. If she starts to cry, I'll dry her eyes. Tell her one thing I know, that she's got me spinning around, feet off the ground. Once we're up, never come back down.
All of my life, waiting here for someone like you. Keep holding on, you and me gonna see it through.
Got me a pretty little baby, gonna lie by the shade tree. Gonna give her all of my heart. Gonna do my best tonight. Gonna treat her right. Open up another bottle of wine. If she starts to cry, I'll dry her eyes. Tell her the one thing I know, that she got me spinning around, feet off the ground. Once we're up, I never come back down. Something to hold on to, if the stars will make you blue. Wanna hold in my dancing shoes, spinning around the floor, me and you. Got me a pretty little baby, gonna lie by the shade tree. Gonna give her all of my heart. Gonna do my best tonight. Gonna treat her right. Open up another bottle of wine. If she starts to cry, I'll dry her eyes. Tell her one thing I know, that she got me spinning around, feet off the ground. Once we're up, never come back down. Got me a pretty little baby, gonna lie by the shade tree. Gonna give her all of my heart. Gonna do my best tonight. Gonna treat her right. Open up another bottle of wine. If she starts to cry, I'll dry her eyes. Tell her one thing I know, that she got me spinning around, feet off the ground. Once we're up, never come back down. Once we're up, never come back down. Ooh.
Well, that's awesome.
Thank you.
That is so awesome. I love what people who are listening can't see is the way you look at each other. Right? I love it that you're constantly looking at each other.
We're constantly like trying to crack each other up. We make each other laugh a lot. You know what I mean?
But Harold takes his part there, and you just have a great big smile on your face. You know, while you're singing, Cassie, you've got a great big smile on your face. The same thing with Cherry Lee and the Hot Rod Hounds. You just seem to be happy when you're singing.
I love it. It's super fun. I couldn't live without it.
And she gets paid. Her dentist pays a spot for the.
Hey, you get the sponsorships where you can, right?
Absolutely.
I don't even know that my orthodontist and dentist are still alive. They were like
wow.
100 million years old when I was a teenager. So
Well,
I hope so. Sorry, Dave.
family gets kickbacks. Something's happening here. It sounds too complicated for us to figure out here today.
Absolutely.
We'll have to hire a private investigator or something. You're listening to your Tuesday afternoon alternative. How you doing? We're getting into another hour of the program, and we have been so overjoyed to have Harold Hensley and Cassie Barker. That's Cherry Lee of Cherry Lee and the Hot Rod Hounds, Mr. Harold Hensley, the golden voice of Dayton roots music.
Every time he says that, I love it.
I say it because I believe it. Well, if people want to say it's not true, you're going to have to fight me. And by fight me, I mean, I'll tell you, we'll meet outside of the schoolyard after recess. You know when.
I got your back. Yeah.
I appreciate that, Harold. I appreciate that. It is our pleasure to bring terrific Dayton music here on the program. And Biscuits and Gravy is just one terrific example of what you have here in the city of Dayton. I'm curious, do you guys have shows coming up that we can talk about here?
Absolutely.
I
This
knew you were
weekend.
going to ask that.
Yes.
So I wrote
Oh my
it
gosh,
down.
she wrote it down.
So, March the 30th, we will be playing Miss Amber Hargett's release show,
Yay.
which is going to be super
The
awesome.
New American Pioneers are going to be there too.
Everybody should go. It's going to be amazing.
So excited.
And then April 12th, we'll be playing with the Buffalo Wogs at Yellow Cab. April 27th, we will be playing, we couldn't remember what it's called, but the Schuster Center Lobby from 6:30 to 8. And that's it for right now.
And if people just want to find out more about you, I think there's a Facebook page.
We have a Facebook page.
Are there any other sites or social media?
Not yet.
Not yet.
And our Facebook page, it's spelled wrong because it wouldn't for some reason let me actually put in Biscuits and Gravy. It kept saying you can't use this, so I think somebody else already has Biscuits and Gravy.
Oh.
So I just misspelled it on purpose so it would let me enter it.
I can just see somebody foolishly thinking they should have that domain because they're like, I don't know, making food or something.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Foolish. How foolish.
Yeah.
When we first started this, we can go ahead and credit Charles Hartman as being the inventor of the name, and I think he was joking, and we were like, yes.
That's perfect.
And then I was Bob Evans, and I saw the I Love You Like Biscuits and Gravy shirts, and I bought us each one.
Oh.
And yeah.
She even got me some stuffed animals, man.
Yeah,
one
the
of them's
biscuit
got
and the gravy.
one's biscuit, one's gravy. They got little bandanas on. See, there we go. I'm not even drinking. That's what we sound like when we.
Yep, we just slip right into it.
Well, thank you guys for coming in. I really appreciate it. When the record's about to come out, we can convince you to come back in.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Yes.
So I'm gonna play something that's not yours, but you have often sang with the New Old Fashioned.
Yes.
And
I love us some New Old Fashioned.
oh, and they were just amazing this past weekend
Yeah.
for the Age Nowhere release show. That was just such a great night from start to finish. And I feel as though this song speaks to so many of us on so many levels here. So we could just come back after this and just say goodbye? Is that cool?
Yeah, that's fine.
It's one of my favorite songs off that record.
Oh, it's a good
Oh,
record.
it's so good. I can go out and put my guitar in the case, right?
Oh, yeah. No, you just have to hold it
Just hold up
because.
the rest of it.
I love you, guitar. This is like a whole
I was going to ask if I could just get you guys to sit together so I can just snap. Oh, it's over here. Snap a couple of photos if that's okay.
Harold's like, we got to stand in front of the cloud.
Oh, we got to do the cloud. Oh, yeah. We got to do the cloud.
I will tell you that I actually had, when we were going to get ready to come in, I had my cherry Lee wig on Harold, and I had this wig on me, and I was like, we're doing the whole thing in wigs. And he's like, I'm going to get too hot. I'm like, but it'll be so funny.
I came up with the, I was like, I can totally tell Art that the reason I have to wear this is because it calls me the Golden Voice of Dayton, and I have so many fans now that they chase me out. She was like, I don't know about that one, buddy.
I did not say that.
I know, but you were
We're going to get you to sit
Yeah.
close together, pretend you like each other. Well, the light is so good.
Is it good?
The light is not half bad. No. Okay.
Can we make it serious?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You should just make whatever kind of faces you like. Yeah, I mean, the light is really good right
That's
now.
perfect.
And of course, you can use it in any way that you want.
That's amazing.
Let's see, can I do something really stupid like Harold, would you hug her?
Like a half hug or a whole hug?
No, you go in. If
Go
you're
in?
gonna hug, we believe in hugging here. Okay, we're happy about this. We're so happy. Okay, we're not so happy anymore. What's happening? Why is he talking to us like we're not here?
I was changing my face every time.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
there you
that's
go. I got a couple of... Some days, especially this time of year, the light in here can be so good.
Oh, that.
Because you have both sides.
It was
Yeah.
funny, we were driving up the street here and I was like, yeah, it's right here on the corner. And I was pointing at that building with the glass.
Yeah.
And I see the, I'm like, wait, no, that's not it. It's that one. And she like tried to bite my hand. It's funny. That point, you remember?
Yep, I remember.
Remember that?
Let me take a couple of photos with this. Oh, I'm
Oh,
seeing
we're still
scary.
live too, aren't we?
I'm seeing scary. It looks like me. Okay.
We're still live with
Oh, yeah. Hey,
Oh,
guys!
that's our photo shoot.
They're probably used to me doing weird things like that. Yeah, because, usually there comes a point where people are like, we're not done yet. What's happening?
Yeah.
Thank you. I remember when I first heard them do this, like at Blind Bob's or something like that, way before the record came out. I'm like, my dad would have loved this song.
It's really good. It's my favorite song, I think.
Yes, a brilliant song by the New Old Fashioned, which we saw them do this weekend for the Age Nowhere release show. Anyone listening to this program knows I am a huge New Old Fashioned fan. I am also a big fan of Biscuits and Gravy, who happened to be here. Mr. Harold Hensley, Cassie Barker, also known as Cherry Lee. Thank you guys so much for coming in.
Thanks for having us. It's always a blast.
You guys are so good. I can't wait for this record to come out. Cassie, could you give people just a couple of those shows again?
Yeah, I'm going to definitely give them the at Yellow Cab March 30th, Amber Harget's release show. If you don't go any